Hi there, my name's Farrell, and this is Shopcat Industries. This week we've had quite a few developments. Things are happening really fast, and sometimes it's actually hard to keep up. I end up with so much material, and I kind of try and keep the videos to not be too long, so I kind of carry some stuff over. But we have stuff coming up. I've got a little bit of woodwork, a little bit of axe work, a little bit of some light collision repair, sharpening the blades on the TECOmaster here. So that's all coming up in the next few weeks, and who knows what else we'll get into in the meantime. I like to keep you guys updated as to what's happening, you know, kind of milestones and achievements with the channel itself. And last week, between the time last week's video was uploaded to YouTube and released, we crested 100 watch hours, which is a pretty small milestone. We need to get 4,000 watch hours per year to be monetized, to get money out of YouTube. So we got a long ways to go, but it's all step by step and they all count. In the meantime though, this just recently, a couple days ago, we broke 100 subscribers. So that's pretty awesome. I think we're sitting at 112 right now, which is pretty epic. You know, a big thanks go out to Cold War Motors for promoting the channel a little bit. I know most of you new subscribers and a lot of you previous subscribers have come from there. So thank you so much for subscribing and for watching. I really appreciate it. We're gonna keep going. I'm not stopping. I got too much junk around here. I can't stop. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. Just gonna go over really quickly some of the last little adjustments I've made. First of all, you can see I've repositioned the rollers here. I'm still not convinced this is really correct. The service manual shows it one way, the parts manual shows it the other way. Maybe it's one of these things that doesn't really matter that much overall. I do like with this position though how level the mower seems to sit, so I'm gonna go with it. If there's any good woodworkers out there, these rollers could stand to be replaced. You know, maybe drop me a line in the comments if you'd like to donate some time and materials. I imagine they're probably a hardwood of some kind. They'd be pretty easy to turn up though on a lathe. What else? I've adjusted the chain tension here. It was really slack before. That's accomplished by moving this whole platform back on these 4 bolts. Of course, when you do that, that changes the relationship to the engine. So likewise, the engine had to be moved back. I didn't move it back very much. All of these adjustments were in the kind of 1/8 or 1/4 inch kind of range. I'm gonna give it an oil change. I haven't done that yet, but before I put it to any kind of serious use, it's gonna need that. I'm pretty happy with the cutting height. Kind of, I don't know, kind of 3 inches or so. That's probably pretty good. Give the blades a little bit of a tidy up. You don't have to be razor sharp. They just have to be probably a little sharper than they are. I think this machine might be pretty handy for cutting the long grass in my ditches. And outside of that, I think I'll probably just be putting it up for sale. I don't imagine I'll have people beating down my door to buy it. It's kind of a niche kind of thing. I sure wouldn't mind having 2 matching grips, but I don't know, adds character maybe. So as you saw, the oil was pretty scungy in this. It's possible that it's never had an oil change before. The guy I bought it from, his intent was to get it running and restore it. He runs a landscaping business, but you know, he's a little busy running his landscaping business, so he decided to move on from this machine. He tells me that it had been parked in a shed for the last 10 or 15 years and had been parked prior to that, I think, outside for the prior 15 to 20 years. Must have been covered up or something, because it's in far too nice a shape to have been just exposed. But that kind of doing the math means it was really not used that long, and these things tend to get used and abused, so at the very least it hasn't had an oil change in an awfully long time. The residual oil in there is still going to be pretty black, and when we run this up, this oil that's going in, SAE 30 summer weight oil, is going to be pretty black and nasty after a short time as well. But we'll just keep up on the maintenance, and after a few oil changes, it'll be nice and clean again. Pressure washer! Hey there. If you're like me, you're getting to be of a certain age where you're looking at your old CD collection and you're not really listening to them anymore because you can stream everything, and so you're thinking maybe you should get rid of them. They're just taking up space. But maybe there's a few that are special to you for some reason. So I'd like to show you what I'm doing with one that's particularly important to my wife and I'm putting this together as a 20th wedding anniversary present. It's a little late. The anniversary was August 4th. I hadn't quite even had the idea fleshed out at the time. But I'm gonna get it done right away here and give it to her, and hopefully she likes it, and hopefully you'll like the idea too. Check it out. So what I've done is I've taken this very old piece of barnwood. Amelia actually used the pressure washer to wash it off for me. This is literally 100-plus-year-old barnwood. A friend of mine was nice enough to let me take it off of some old barns on her family property. I made sure to take it off. There was a building that was so collapsed you couldn't even go inside it. It was pretty unsafe, but I've ripped off about an inch of the edge. And actually this edge, the original edge, like this one, is what's going to be the face of a frame. So I've got 4 pieces like this. I used my table saw to create sort of a dado joint in here. If you have a dado blade, even better. It's about 3/8 of an inch, give or take. But I just kind of ran my table saw through it just about 1/8 of an inch deep until I had the right width, except for one piece, which I ran about 3/8 of an inch deep, and that's to accommodate just the ugly part of the CD case there, just to kind of hide it a little bit more. It still shows it's obvious it's a CD, which is kind of the point, but just hides it a little more. And then other pieces basically fit together as a picture frame do. I like this piece because I left the knot in there intentionally. And this piece that has this chunk missing, and that's been missing for a long time because it's weathered equally with the rest of the wood. And so it basically just goes together like that. So I am going to get some wood glue and glue this together. I was going to pin it together with some, just with some finishing nails, but family's asleep and I don't want to fire up my air compressor right now. So this is probably going to be fine anyway. And then all I'll have to do is put one of those little brass little jaggedy picture hanging things on the back, and that's that. So hopefully you find that inspiring in some way, and it doesn't have to be a CD really. It can be just about anything that would fit, you know, kind of, you can make a picture frame out of it. So I'm going to get this glued together so that I can give it to her tomorrow. Cheers. So I don't have corner clamps, but I do have 4 bar clamps, and I was able to position them in such a way that I was able to clamp everything together nice and square. Just some Gorilla brand wood glue. Seems to be plenty strong for this application. I did give the wood a little bit of a matte clear coat. Actually, it's a satin clear coat, just to kind of seal it up and make the color a little bit richer without changing it too much. As far as the actual CD, highly recommend 7 Mary 3 American Standard. Maybe you've never heard of it, which was kind of what was surprising to my wife and I when we first met, that we both had the CD and we were both kind of going, we're the only person I've ever met that's heard of them. Pretty good, you know, 90s kind of grunge type kind of thing. Yeah, no, it's really good stuff, and I'm really happy with how this has turned out.